Yo, yo, welcome in Magic players. We're here with Manuel from the Philippines, flavor enthusiast, someone whose favorite part of the game is this kind of source material, the worlds, and
Basically, yeah.
how we draw the cards and flavor from that. So, for those of you who care a lot about flavor, care a lot about planes walking, worlds, we're going to talk about possible future worlds, see what Mero has hinted at, and then Manuel's going to talk about some places he'd like to see us go. And I've got a few ideas of cool possible worlds as well. So, with
And
that,
actually,
Manuel,
yeah, these too. So
yeah. So, why don't you go ahead and, yeah, first off, I brought you on because of your excitement and because
right.
you're looking at the game from a different angle. So,
Mhm.
what is it about the flavor that you find exciting in Magic?
So for me, the game, a lot of the players, especially well here in the Philippines, what I see
Hmm.
is a lot of the players are very spiky. Like a lot of them are spiky, right? So
No
all of
disrespect
them.
to this guy,
No,
Spikes.
no. Of course, I mean, I myself also like I play a lot of modern. I play like a burn deck that's also spec. Like I
Hmm.
net deck.
Hmm.
Like I get that. But
Hmm.
the best for me, what I enjoy the most is seeing cards, even if they're not playable, seeing cards that are just oozing with flavor. And like
Hmm.
especially
Hmm.
like the different ideas that Maro and or other designers had for the game. Like um I remember there was an article on the possible cards that could have come out in Theros.
Hmm.
Like they had an idea for a Hercules and where
Hmm.
Hercules would be this huge 12/12
Hmm.
um for only 6 mana, but then you had to have 12 permanents in order for it to attack or block. And so that
Hmm.
kind of thing what I is what I look for basically
Like
in the
you were just
game.
saying, I mean, most of us know Delver of Secrets is an awesome Magic card, but that's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right?
No, Delver of Secrets. The cool thing about Delver of Secrets actually, it starts off from The Fly, right? So The Fly is a movie
Oh, that's the
about
Fly.
this. Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
Fly. That's right. So which one is Dr. Jekyll?
Hold on. I forgot the name. It's this. It's homicidal brute on the
Yeah.
backside.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Sure. I got mixed.
Uh,
I'm not. I
no,
haven't
it's,
thought about the flavor in a while, right? So it's not
uh,
definitely. It got me hooked when I'm early. So I'm trying to revisit, and we're trying to go back to the flavorland of childhood instead
civilized
of the
scholars. Dr.
civilized
Mr.
scholar is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's right.
Yeah. And so
So.
it's those kinds of things, that being able to translate the story in the mechanic way. And for me, the best part also is when Mario talked about how you tell story using the card. Every single part of the card has to be important. The mana cost, the name, the
The color,
everything, color,
the art.
everything has exactly everything has to make sense, including the power, toughness,
Hmm.
abilities, flavor text, everything.
Hmm.
So. And that's basically what we're here to do, right?
Hmm.
We're basically going to look at the future
Hmm.
of the
Hmm.
game and try to
Yeah.
see what
Let's talk
exactly.
about that a little.
Right.
So,
So
what can I ask you this? What I'm very interested in is what possible like worlds
right.
you might see us going to, and what those worlds might look like.
So the plan for Maro's plan was to have to every year we're going to visit something new and something old.
Hmm.
So last year the old was Tarkir, the new is
Hmm.
Zendikar, and this year old
Hmm.
is Innistrad. So we're sure going
Hmm.
to visit something new.
Hmm.
What people were speculating is the next block is going to be Kaldheim.
What is that?
Kaldheim, Kaldheim was visited in Magic Duels.
Uh-huh.
It follows Magic Duels followed the story of Chandra and how he
Duels is
she
the is it's a tablet game and a
yeah
console game, right?
Yep,
So,
yep, that's the one.
so Duels actually has different planes than the main game. Is that what you're saying?
Well, huh. Duels introduced Kaldheim to us to show
Uh-huh.
us the story of how Chandra got on Zendikar.
Oh,
Because
I see.
Chandra,
We're going to Chandra's homeworld.
yep. Well, not what happened was um, Chandra was that she was mind controlled by this guy named Ramaz, and
Mm-hmm.
Ramaz was the one that forced her to go on. Well, not forced her, but controlled her to go on Zendikar to
Mm-hmm.
open to awaken the Eldrazi, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Kaldheim is
Say it,
actually,
Kaldheim. Kaldheim.
yep,
Am I pronouncing it right?
Kaldheim.
Kaldheim.
Kaldheim. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Most
It sounds
the
German, right?
it's
Innistrad is like German Gothic, right? So that seems kind of interesting.
but the thing about Kaldheim is that on the list that Mario gave us for possible planes to visit, he also said Norse slash Viking world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is sort of in that the
Uh-huh.
name sounds like, Niflheim or Midgard.
Sure, okay. I don't know. Northern Europe, it's certainly Northern European sound.
Yep,
I'm
yep.
not, yeah, okay. So
So
what would that mean, Norse? Like Viking ships and
yeah, exactly. So
gears,
we're going to
mountain terrain.
yeah. Actually, I'm not gonna be surprised if we're going to have see Raid come back, cause
Raid?
um yeah Raid
Oh, yeah, okay.
from from Tarkir. I
Mm-hmm.
won't be surprised to see Raid come back because of course
Mm-hmm.
that was what the Vikings like doing, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Uh,
definitely, yeah.
so because the plane itself will probably be very mountainous, very
Mm-hmm.
red in feel.
Harsh. It'll
Yeah,
be a
harsh.
harsh.
Really looking at. And
Uh-huh.
so I won't be surprised also if we're going to see the return of gods, as in the
Yeah, Norse mythology.
Norse
Do you know
mythology.
much about Norse mythology? I don't know
Um,
any. Very little.
well,
Is Thor Norse?
yeah, Thor is Norse. Thor is Norse.
We already
So
had
let's
Kronos, though.
see. If you see I don't know if most of the audience will know, but our week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they're all names of Norse gods. So,
I didn't
for
know
example,
that.
yeah. So, for example, Tuesday is named by Tyr, is named after Tyr, which is a Norse
Uh-huh.
god who
Uh-huh.
I think he was the
Man,
one
there's so
who
much
says,
flavor in the days of the week. I had no idea.
yeah. So it's pretty like when I found this out, I was like, huh. So that's where it came from. So
Mm-hmm.
Tyr. So these are probably the people who are going to the gods who are going to see the pantheon that we're going to see in Kaldheim.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Was someone whose hand got bitten by Fenrir. Fenrir is a wolf, a really
Mm-hmm.
huge beast wolf.
So we're
His
gonna see
father,
wolves.
I won't be surprised if we see wolves and we'll see Surtur. Surtur is like the
Say,
demon, like the demon
uh-huh.
of like the guy who
Uh-huh.
brings wrath.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think Surtur is also where we get Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. So Wednesday comes from Odin, because another name for Odin
Mm-hmm.
is Woden.
Odin.
Thursday is
Does he have a
Thursday.
hammer or something? So we could see. Yeah, that's
Odin,
interesting. Uh-huh.
Odin has uh, Odin has a spear, and
Spear.
he's famous for being on an eight-legged horse called Sleipnir.
He sounds like a white god.
Yeah.
Certainly. Yeah.
Odin is probably going to be white, and
Yeah,
Thor
they
will
got.
probably he's just striking lightning everywhere. Because unlike what we see in like the Marvel movies, Thor is actually angry. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's not like the nice god trying to protect humans
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
He's throwing lightning bolts, killing people. That's what I
Yeah,
think when I think Thor. I can't understand everything you say.
ah,
Sometimes
is
it cuts in. Is it,
it's
yo,
choppy. Okay,
is
hold
that,
on. Maybe there's a way to fix this. Hold on.
it sounds better when you just did that.
Ah, okay. Okay.
I'm sorry to do this with the audience watching. I don't really want to edit this
Okay.
video. I want to just go bam, bam,
Yeah,
bam. I should have brought that
Yep,
up earlier.
that's okay. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so then Freyda is the wife of Odin. So the five that we're
Friday.
probably going to, yeah, Friday exactly. So
Would we
Freyda
see the
is,
same god mechanic, do you think?
uh, I don't think devotion will play into. I don't think devotion will play
Legendary
into it.
creatures, maybe.
Yeah, they'll probably be legendary creatures. They won't probably. They
Mm-hmm.
probably won't be enchantments. What I
Mm-hmm.
think is gonna happen actually, these are going to be more active. Like they're not.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to. They're not going to be the kinds of gods that you have to keep devotion to in
Mm-hmm.
order to. They are actively fighting in the war, so they'll
Mm-hmm.
probably be down there on the ground. I'm. I'm pretty sure there's going to be like a mechanic dedicated to each of the five
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
to express each of the what they do, and then each of the colors are going to be devoted to those mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Probably something like that.
I think that'd be a cool world. Can we talk about other possible worlds?
Right. So
Can I talk about a couple possible worlds?
good.
So I was just thinking today, I was at the, I went for a swim and I was thinking like what would be really cool or out there. Push Magic, edgy. A lot of these things, fantasy worlds blend together. I know it's Magic the Gathering, but I was thinking I had two ideas that I thought would be really cool. The first
Yeah,
is
yeah.
you take kind of existing things and mash them together and you get something new. So a thought that I had is you have Jurassic Park and steampunk. Like, yeah, it'd be insane. What would that even be like? You
Uh,
know, like dinosaurs mixed with robots would be unreal. I mean, that's just a little kid in me loves robots and dinosaurs. So give a
that's
T
actually
Rex like a bow and arrow or whatever,
that's
right?
actually not far-fetched. I don't think. I think that's possible too. Like, cause I don't know if you know, but in Future Sight, they showed that they're going to have a dinosaur world called Muraganda.
They had Alpha Tyrannex. They've had dinosaurs in some sets. Mirodin, was that Mirodin? Yeah, Mirodin had some dinosaurs.
Oh, did Mirrodin have dinosaurs?
Alpha
Okay.
Tyrannex is the one that I know of.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
a dinosaur could be in all five colors. You have blue Aerodactyls
That's right.
and swimming dinosaurs, green Brontosaurus, or like a black Velociraptors,
I won't be
red
surprised if
kind of
T-Rex
mountain.
or that.
T-Rex is
Yeah.
probably green. Yeah, yeah, green.
That's
Yes,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have a dinosaur world, but I was also thinking like, why not put why not make the T-Rexes bionic, like, or
Yeah.
give them
So
give them some low tech weapons, right?
with with how like with your idea, the reason why I think it's really possible is because so new Phyrexia is a thing now. Phyrexia is like trying to absorb different worlds. If we're going with the steampunk dinosaur, we can introduce like wizards could introduce Morganda, like just the dinosaurs, and then on the
Mm-hmm.
second set have like Phyrexians come in, and like so now dinosaurs have like metallic arms and like
Yeah,
wings made of.
poisonous. Well, yeah, it's basically the
Yeah,
card Alpha Tyrannex and make a whole set around that concept. Like that
yeah.
card really
Actually,
struck me.
I'm looking at it right now.
It's got
There was another card
armor.
called Imperiosaur,
Uh-huh,
and
yeah. Dinosaur.
Imperiosaur, I think basic lands mattered.
Yep. 4 mana, 5/5
Yeah,
basics only, I believe.
yeah. I think what it did was it had something to do with basic lands. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there. So I'm pretty sure that's not like impossible. That's not even impossible. I think
Yeah,
in the
it's
future.
edgy though. I want to see more of
Yeah.
that. Okay, I had another thought. I'm going to share the second one.
Go
The
ahead. Go
second one
ahead.
that I thought of today. For a locate, this one I'm not as sure what the actual who would live on there, but I thought it would be cool. This doesn't need to be like sci-fi or anything like that, but if the when you think about a plane, it's like where is Dominaria, where is Zendikar, where is are they? You don't get a sense of where the plane is. if there was a plane that was, say, on the rings of Saturn or some other planet, you know, it would
Yeah.
be really cool visual of the art could be insane of things floating in space, a little bit sci-fi, but still, primarily fantasy. And
Right.
things like exile would have a whole new meaning, right? If you like,
Right.
you know, toss someone at like, yeah,
Actually, now that you say it, what if we had blocks? Well, we had a block set in the blind eternities,
I don't
and
know what
then
that
we can
means.
no, because so the blind eternities is the space between planes, right?
Hmm.
So planes, most people try to imagine planes like they were planets, and the
It's
blind
in the
eternities
exile.
is yeah,
Set
blind
that
eternity,
takes place in the exile,
yeah, the
and
all
you get
every single.
exiled back into the world, like the planes.
Oh yeah, that and it gives a little difference, no? To like exiling things will be completely different now when you're playing in this world. You can bring exiled things back. I'm pretty sure you can play with exile, like casting things from exile, putting things from exile to the graveyard. Maybe the processor mechanic could come back
Hmm.
to add flavor to whatever set that would be.
Yeah, I'm imagining really simplistic art that's like distorted or has holes or
Ah,
some two-dimensional or something. I know Wizards
right.
has its core fantasy thing, but I think stuff like this that's more edgy and more pushed in different directions would will probably become necessary over time just to
Yeah.
push the excitement.
It will definitely be interesting to visit like something like this, especially because how you're describing it is like space is basically what the blind eternities are, and the blind eternities is
Hmm.
where Eldrazi comes from,
Hmm.
where possibly Mariat Lodge comes from, and
Hmm.
so it's nice to see where all of these different aliens originate, because that's
Uh-huh.
what basically they are, right? They're basically aliens. So
Uh-huh. You could
yeah.
also have like insanely evil or crazy entities. Like everything that's ever been exiled ever in a game of Magic lives in the Blind Eternities, right? So you have like crazy reruns, and maybe you have some like you have a return from exile effect, like exile matters. They haven't. Yeah, seems very doable. Exile
Yeah.
matters. They've never really done that, or like
Right.
exile. Yeah, come back from exile into play stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Because they have never done that. They've never actually interacted with the exile. Or
It
maybe
only
because
makes sense in the Blind
yeah,
Eternities, right?
yeah, right. And because we're in the blind eternities, we're in space. Like we're saying, we're bringing back exiled. What if we can have dead planeswalkers come back? You show how they're floating around in blind eternities, like Venser, for
Mm-hmm.
example, or Urza. We can finally show Urza.
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
planeswalker card.
I would love something. I think that'd be really cool. It would be far
Yeah.
out.
I actually had a similar idea, but it's not the space idea, but it's something connected to the blind eternities. I
Hmm.
thought that you know how in Greek mythology there's an idea that when heroes die, they go to the Isle of the Blessed, like sort of like a heaven, where all heroes who has saved the world go to a
Hmm.
completely separate place.
I didn't know
The
that. No.
Okay, so there is like I think it's inside the underworld. Inside the underworld, there's an island where all the heroes go. I was thinking a plane where all the heroes who has died, who has passed, is there in that plane, and they're protecting the other planes from like Eldrazi.
Hmm.
So they're
Hmm.
constantly being attacked by these different aliens from the outside. So, like for example, you can have Elspeth and Venser fighting off different people trying to attack the plane, right? And you can even show how Dominaria was taken over by the darkness, how Chandalar,
Hmm.
which is where all the magic core sets before, how
Hmm.
it's traveling through. the Blind Eternities. Basically,
Mhm.
you can have this world. I think I think I named it Pedion. I forgot why. And you can um be like the heaven where everybody's just protecting, like the Avengers. Basically, the Avengers of Magic.
I like it. Um, I don't know. I think Wizards. If you think about Future Sight was like a flop, it was too nostalgia-y. Uh, uh, so if we were to go to these places, it would be important to not get too inbred and appeal to. I don't know. I thought
Yeah, that
Future Sight was really cool. I bought into the nostalgia of that. I loved it,
makes
but
sense. There were, oh, sorry, there were a few people who thought that Future Sight was just because it was too exclusive to itself. It wasn't good set to play with. It was hard to
hmm
draft and all
hmm
those kinds of things. There are a few interesting things lined up actually. So
hmm
they have Western theme, a possible
There's a,
Western theme, a possible Sliver Homeworld block. But for me, I
ooh, I like bugs.
love to visit the Sliver Homeworld. But I think for me, what's interesting to visit would be the Egyptian themed plane. Because
Yes.
yeah, right
We haven't
now,
been to Africa since Tempest, right? Or Visions or whatever. Not like
yeah,
Africa, right?
yeah, that's right, that's right. We haven't been in an African type plane in a while, and it'll be nice
Yeah.
to see because we have a few like hints at it in the Elspeth versus Kiora duel deck, Mother of Runes. The art of Mother of Runes is an Egyptian girl, and there's like the background is like hieroglyphics. So
Uh-huh.
that's what
Uh-huh.
Liliana has.
Uh-huh.
You know how Liliana has for. Am I too loud? I'm not
hmm
sure if I'm too loud. Or am I good? Am I good?
Yeah.
Okay. Liliana has four demons, right? And we've met two of them.
hmm
But the other two, one is from an underwater world, which is probably Equithania from Plane Chase, and
hmm
another seems to be Egyptian in nature. And
hmm
so it'll be interesting to visit the Egyptian themed world, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be graveyard interaction too, because
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Egypt has weird stuff with immortality.
Yep.
Or yeah, oh, Egyptian zombies are the mummies. Yeah,
Oh,
Egyptian zombies are the
mummies,
coolest
we need
zombies, right?
mummies, man.
Have we not had any mummies in Magic this whole time?
I don't think so. I think this is going to be the first time, and I think this is important,
Yes,
man.
yes,
We can
we need mummies.
we can definitely reference the mummy movies because they've done that before. They've referenced
I
movies
think
before.
some of the zombies in Innistrad were mummy-ish, like Geralf's messenger. I think maybe
Maybe.
a
I,
little
I can
bit.
search. We'll see.
Yeah, that would be cool. And you could have like a Cleopatra type character.
Oh, there was one mummy in fourth edition.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, people like mummies. Yeah. And you could have like
Oh, Cleopatra
scarabs or
type
whatever
card.
they call them. Scarabs, the bugs.
That's right. That's right. Um, there were like you know how in Innistrad there's this new flip card. There's an insect that basically goes on a host and it transforms into like a beast insect type thing. You can have scarabs latch on to. You can have creatures that latch on to different like to your opponent.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like liches, but not as complicated. Or well, not liches. They had those things that turned into enchantment
I
creature
think
things that were so complicated. But
the best
I was
the
before
best.
that. I can't. Bestow was fine. I can't remember. But
Because I think actually I won't be surprised if they do enchantment creatures
hmm
in Egyptian. And
hmm
what I think I want to see more is how different the enchantment creatures will be here. So, because you know how in Theros, the bestow creatures were they gave you good stuff. What if
Mm-hmm.
your creatures, most of the enchantment creatures in the Egyptian world would be bad
Mm-hmm.
stuff?
Yeah,
Like
you could have
this,
removal. All the removal in
yeah,
the set is
exactly.
is
It
is.
says like you can have a one to cast 5/5 that says this creature is -4/-4, but when you bestow it on another creature, that
Mm-hmm.
creature that it's bestowed on is -4 minus
Yeah.
four. So it's
Or
basically
you can,
removal.
yeah, bestow a pacifism. Yeah, something that's like a
Right,
pacifism, or a small creature, or something of that nature would be
right,
interesting.
right. And
I,
especially how um the Egyptian rituals with how burials
oh
go.
man, the art would be amazing in this plan.
That'd be amazing.
Man,
And
listen to
um
us. Go to Egypt.
man, you know what? I'm actually really stoked for the future
Oh
of
yeah.
Magic. I mean, yeah, they have some really cool things
Here's another one.
lined up. Go
I've got
ahead.
another plan that they haven't done.
Right.
Ancient Middle Eastern, like Babylonian. Babylon is the most ancient city with the most ancient books, and you
I'd
had
love
the
to see
Tigris and the Euphrates, and this fertile crescent. It's just such a cool spot in the world where you
that.
have the
Right.
crowded city and then in the middle of the desert. And I mean, I don't know how it would work exactly, but uh, I mean,
Babylon.
I guess Ravnica is kind of not really though.
The closest thing I think we got to something like Babylon is Arabia from Arabian Nights.
Uh huh.
That's the closest thing we had.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I guess
hmm.
they had to do Middle East with Arabian Nights to an extreme.
The thing I think about Babylon is um during that era, during the era where Babylon was like this ancient empire,
Hmm.
one after the other, there were different empires trying to take over Babylon. So after Babylon fell, Syria came on, right? And after Syria,
Hmm.
no, not Syria, Persia. After Persia fell, then Greece, then after Greece it was Rome. So we can actually show how Babylon rose quickly and then
Hmm.
falls.
Hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
you know what?
interesting. So many armies just traveled through that city, just showed up
That's right.
and just passed
Yeah,
through.
we can have that because
Alexander the Great died in Babylon, actually. History,
wasn't Alex?
his. Say that
Oh
again.
no, that's right. Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah, he died in Babylon. Second time there, I believe. You can Google me wrong, but he,
Yeah.
he was in Babylon shortly before dying.
What's important, I think, is if we're going to do a Babylon plane, we need to have like a five-color Gilgamesh,
Oh
five-color
yeah.
Gilgamesh card. Yeah,
Oh
that has
baby.
to be a
Gilgamesh.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to have like this huge ass creature. That's just he needs to be like the Gilgamesh of the thing
Well,
of
the
Babylon.
story goes there's Gilgamesh and there's Enkidu, and
Right,
they're
and Kido is
twins.
like
Enkidu is the
his.
wild twin, his wild twin.
Ah, that's
So
right.
they would either both be five color or one would be colorless, one would be five color.
I think I like the one would be
I don't know.
colorless better. I think
Yeah, I
Enkidu would
mean,
be colorless.
yeah, I think that would be cool. They're both these epic creatures or legends. Yeah.
And it'll be interesting if I don't know if Magic has done this before, but it'll be interesting if
Hmm.
um the Gilgamesh card has a special like buff when the Enkidu card is on. So
Hmm.
like they can play off each other. Like Enkidu, for example, can be a 2/2, but it gets +4/+4 if Gilgamesh is
Yeah.
on.
Or it could be Enkidu and Gilgamesh is a card, right?
Oh
Like
yeah,
Kia and Kira
that's
Nard. Yeah. And they
yeah.
twin. One comes in. Yeah, like when Gilgamesh comes into play, put a token in Kidu token that does
That's
this or
right.
whatever.
That's
Right?
right.
Yeah, that'd be
Right.
perfect. Yeah.
That'd be cool. Oh man, this is so cool, man. So this is what I live for.
I've got one
Man,
more idea, and I'm gonna run out.
right. And then I
One more
guess
idea.
after we can talk about one last after yours, I think.
Okay. Okay. One more idea. The Quran. So Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of the that region. I don't even know what you call that region. I'm gonna bust out the map in here. But
Go
like the
ahead.
wars going on at the time,
You
and
know what?
that wasn't even in Africa. That was Western. Hang on, I'm trying to pull up the map. Go ahead.
There's actually a plan in the future to do the Crusades in the
Yeah,
right to do the Crusades
the
with magic.
the Crusades are cool, but I also like the idea of doing it in the West Middle East. You know, of like holy wars. You have
Oh,
Medina and Mecca,
it'd be nice to.
Jerusalem.
Yeah, you probably know more about this than I do, but yeah, this
I
is
obviously don't know that
that's
much, but yeah, it's just like more. I think more Africa and Middle East would be cool. It makes sense why they don't do it. I'm not going to get into a whole thing, but their
yeah, yeah.
player base is white European, so there's a lot of that with the occasional appeal to the Asians with the Japanese
Right,
bloc and now the Chinese bloc. Maybe they go to the
right.
Philippines next, right? Like Southeast Asia
It'll be
next, probably
yeah.
Mongolia.
Well, actually, about
Sarkin
sorry, that's what I liked
Sarkin's
about
on board.
Tarkir. Because Tarkir actually
Oh, that
like
is yeah.
they visited like what each of the different tribes were five different Asian Asian culture, right? So they had
Mhm.
like Jeskai was like Chinese, and they
Mhm.
had Mongolian for Mardun. So for me,
Mhm.
there was like there was something Malaysian. Sultai was Malaysian. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. It was really
fusing
cool.
with
Yeah, yeah. Thanks Wizards for the Asian sets. I enjoy them.
huh. We can talk about one more, I think. Or
Mhm.
what do you think? Do we have time to talk about
Sure,
a few?
sure. I mean, yeah, yeah. I've got more ideas. Like just the basic pattern is any cool historical thing that happened. I'm thinking like
That's
Oregon Trail settlement, like a yeah, like a settlement, like a settling, like
that's
migration plan or something. Like
we
everyone's
can have.
moving from Tarkir to the new plane, or
I'd love something like that. I'd love because like you know how Mong Sang. I'm not sure if you know about this, but Mong Sang was in planes plane chase. Mong Sang was in plane chase, and it got retconned into Tarkir. And the
hmm
same thing with Theros. It used to be Arcos, and it got retconned into Theros. So what we
hmm
can actually do is have a set where you can see the backstory where you're having people transfer from one plane to another, and that's the whole thing, transferring different people through the blind eternities into a different plane, and the problems that come with that.
yeah, I like it. I could see a four set block.
Yeah, that's amazing. Um, although um, because the two set block thing right now, that's actually based on Shadowmoor and
hmm
Lorwyn. So I
hmm
think we should have something like that also in the future where you can have the first two set block is the plane where they came from. The next two set block is the new plane where they're trying to go to. Migration would be an amazing idea. You can have a lot of I think tutors would be a great idea for this block where you're trying to find the different tools, different creatures, different guides as you're going through this journey to the next plane.
Wayposts or waypoints or something, or like the non-basic lands. I don't know. Uh,
Oh, that's right.
your
Yeah, that'll
settlement
be
lands
nice.
or something.
Oh, yeah. That'll be nice. That you can have huh. Wait, let me think about that. I was gonna say that it's gonna be two colored artifact lands, but I think that would be too powerful, I think. Two colored artifact lands. Because they had to ban the artifact lands back in Mirrodin, right?
Yeah, but they were untapped. I mean, you could nerf artifact lands enough if you really
Oh,
wanted to.
that's true.
Okay, so say that we have one more plane. What's the
I
top of
think
your list?
for me, what I really because I'm just going to list down quickly some things that I want to see,
Mhm.
but and
Mhm.
then end with
Mhm.
like a
Mhm.
huge explanation for
Go
the
ahead.
last one. Because I really want to see the Sliver home plane, and I'm pretty sure
Yes.
not gonna let go of they're not letting go of Eldrazi. So if we see the return of Eldrazi in the future, we can see sort of like an Alien versus Predator type thing
Yeah.
with Sliver and Eldrazi fighting each other.
I'm imagining
And
Starship Troopers over on. Yeah.
yes, yeah, that would be interesting. Um, there's a Western theme playing plan. Something I want to see is Arthurian legend eventually in the future. But my favorite plan right now that I hope they do soon is a fairy tale world. Now it's not growing because
Ooh.
yeah, because like a Grimm Brothers world
Yeah,
where you
Grim
have like
Fairy Tales as a whole plane. Yeah.
right? So you can have like
Oh
you can
man.
have like Snow White and like a Red Riding Hood. They had a Red Riding Hood in Innistrad, in original Innistrad.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if you the werewolf, the werewolf that had a red cape.
The tapper. Yeah.
Yep, yep. So it would be interesting to see the Grimm brothers fairy tales together in one
Yeah.
whole plane.
There'd be some really cool top-down designs. I haven't read it in a
Yeah.
while, so I don't know, but you can pick the different fairy tales and characters and design cards from them.
I think the biggest thing that's going to happen is they might already keyword tapping or keyword tapping and not tapping in the next
Mm-hmm.
untap phase. The sleep mechanic because
Uh-huh.
a lot of sleep happens in fairy tales. Like you have Snow White and like you have Sleeping Beauty, and so I think that'll be interesting where you can have
Yeah. Sleep. What is Sleeping Beauty? Thing in the Ice is Sleeping Beauty.
So I mean, I can talk about so much other worlds. There's so
Yeah.
much other.
Last one. I've got one more. Middle Earth.
Good.
Jake. Yeah. Middle Earth. Tolkien.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
We got
If they can do that,
hobbits
that'll be
and
amazing.
dwarves, elves, Uruk-hai goblins, legendary
I mean,
wizards.
they have goblins. It's easy to. I think it's easy to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just
That's the
like
classic one. That's really where Magic started, right?
yeah, yeah. I think something that we can double down on since we're talking about another property. One interesting theory about Lord of the Rings and Middle Earth is that Middle
Mm-hmm.
Earth is what Westeros and Essos from Game of Thrones was before. Like years before Westeros and Essos was all this magic, and then eventually the magic started fading into the dark. So what actually we can do is in um in the first set we can have like Middle Earth where magic is everywhere, and until someone makes a mistake, someone um basically someone ends puts the ring in Mordor, for example, and so there's no use for magic anymore. So in the second set, you'll find out that the person who placed the ring in Mordor is actually someone who wanted to eradicate magic for
Mm.
forever, for good. So like
Frodo's
a
the
little
villain.
yeah, exactly.
Frodo's the bad guy.
Frodo's
Yeah. Well, cool, man. That's so much to think about. And those of you watching, I hope you found that entertaining. Trying to cater to different types of uh,
players.
aspects of gaming. Yeah, so let us know what you think. Which of these is your favorite plane, or what some other possible planes you see? New
Yep.
things, far out things, historical reincarnations, top-down designs.
I'd love to
Um,
see also like this would what other mechanics they think would be part of the different planes in the future. So if you have any of those ideas, put it in the comments below.
yeah, and thanks. And if anyone wants to ask you a question, reach out to you, Emmanuel. How are they going to do that?
Oh, that's right. Hmm. I guess you can. I have a YouTube. I have a YouTube at Marek Season.
Hmm. What is it? Say it again.
Marek Sison. So that's Mareksison.
Merrick C.
Sison.
Sun.
Yeah,
Cool.
Marek is
Merrick
my,
C.
my nickname. Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. Thank you so much. Love your energy that you brought to this and made me, I got
Thank you
excited.
so
I
much,
enjoyed it.
man. I
Thanks,
really
bro.
enjoyed our talk.
Yeah.